Greetings everyone, and welcome to Mega Man Issue 1 of the Dreamwave series. Yes, Archie wasn't the only North American comic company to hold the Mega Man license. Dreamwave was a Canadian comic company that produced its own content, as well as licensed products such as the aforementioned Mega Man comic and the popular Transformer comics. Unfortunately, Dreamwave had problems including mismanagement and financial difficulties, and the company went bankrupt in January 2005. As a result of the impending bankruptcy, only 4 issues of Mega Man were published. I recently bought all 4 issues, and since I review Mega Man comics, might as well tackle these. I will be doing the entire series this year, but here's the thing. I plan to release a review around the time of the seasonal changes. Why? Why not? Besides, I want something to at least be on schedule for once. Right now, it's becoming spring, a season of beginnings. How appropriate. I'm not going to waste any more time here, so let's get started. The story begins with this nice looking page of Mega City, formerly Monsteropolis according to the narration box. We have 8-bit Mega Man on the lower left corner, and on the lower right, we have someone complaining that they don't want to go to school. Boy, that takes me back. And who is this person who doesn't want to go to school? Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Mega Man, or in this case, Rocky Light, states that he's a robot. But Dr. Light wants to, in his own words, erase that distinction between humans and robots. And he explains that Rocky's independent determination, or ID chip, allows him to think like a human. Still, Rocky's not happy about going to school, and Roll teases him about it. Dr. Light explains to Rocky that he looks human enough to blend in, and that the ID chip requires human interaction for development. Also, Roll doesn't have the chip because she's too independent already. Right. Otto, who's driving the limo, reports traffic problems, which Dr. Light says it's impossible since he designed the perfect traffic light system. Further investigation suggests tampering, and Rocky spots the cause, a robot destroying the lights. Rocky presses a button on his watch to transform into Mega Man, and flies out superhero style to deal with the menace. Okay, so why was Rush in the limo with them, but whatever. I should point out that based on the people's dialogue, Mega Man's been doing this for a short time. So Mega Man begins his attack, and the robot, Barrage Man, loudly analyzes the situation and strikes back. Mega Man then goes to town on Barrage Man, eventually destroying it. With the threat past, traffic is on the move again. The limo arrives at the school and... wait a minute, is that the Flutter up there? Anyway, Rocky enters campus and encounters these guys, the Bolts brothers. These will be our bullies for the series, as seen here. It looks like Rocky's about to transform when the robotic hall monitor shows up to tell them to get to class. But Rocky's harassment doesn't end here, as the Bolts brothers taunt him and throw paper balls at him during class. During lunch, Rocky makes friends with Alan, who explains that the Bolts brothers were held back numerous times. I believe it. Said brothers then sabotage the cafeteria's mashed potato dispenser, essentially turning it into a projectile weapon. Rocky puts a stop to the messy situation by throwing a cola bottle so that it plugs up the dispenser. This leads to the machine building up pressure and exploding mashed potatoes all over the Bolts brothers. But hey, we see later on that this action earns him the respect of the other students, including this girl named Chelsea. And Rocky is developing a crush on her? Well, Dr. Light did want him to be very human-like. The Bolts brothers show up, wanting revenge for what happened during lunch. Chelsea stands in front of Rocky and chews them out for treating him like crap. Otto arrives to pick up Rocky, informing him that Dr. Light needs him right away. And Chelsea's realization about Rocky's connection to Dr. Light gets her more interested in Rocky. Otto and Rocky leave, and Otto explains that Dr. Light's automatic traffic speed governor is out of control, which results in traffic moving faster and faster. A bank robber is using the situation to his advantage, and Rocky, now Mega Man, goes to stop him. Mega Man tells the police to back out before they get hurt and catches up to the robber, a robot named Express Man. The chase ends when Mega Man grabs Express Man and forces both of them into the water. This underwater combat eventually results in an explosion. Thankfully, Mega Man's fine and has recovered the money. The issue ends with a cloaked figure with familiar features watching Mega Man. The issue, or to be specific, the comic's run, was written by Brian Augustine. He's worked on other titles such as DC's Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, and Marvel's Imperial Guard. It might explain the superhero-esque nature of the issue. Now for the plot itself. Rocky going to school. Is it silly? Kinda. Dr. Light said he wanted to bridge the gap between humans and robots, and Rocky is his most advanced robot to date. As for the school setting itself, it feels like I'm reading something that wouldn't look out of place in a Saturday morning cartoon series, with such cliches such as conflicts with bullies, making friends with the not-so-popular kid, and establishing a potential love interest. The conflict with the Bolts brothers. I guess Dr. Light made Rocky out of sturdy material because this harassment here might have ended up with at least a scrape or something, and possibly exposing whatever metal or circuits are underneath Rocky's skin. Plus, the Bolts brothers must be very strong to push Rocky like this because, well, you know, Rocky's a robot, and usually robots are stronger, and yeah. I did like how Rocky ended the bully's cafeteria mayhem and brought about some karma. It shows that he's resourceful and can think on his feet. But hey, Dr. Light created the ID chip to learn and adapt. Now let's talk about Rocky's alter ego Mega Man. Once again, the people stated that he's a new hero, so that begs the question, what was Rocky's existence prior to becoming Mega Man? The two robots he find this issue, Barrage Man and Express Man, are comic exclusive characters. Mega Man also takes them down with minimal effort. I know what some of you are thinking. How could he defeat those robots so easily while he's having trouble with human bullies? I would say that his Mega Man form, activated via watch, grants him his weapons, extra endurance, and flight. I don't know whose idea that was to let Mega Man fly on his own, but I think it's weird. I believe the creators were looking at the official Mega Man art to get the general look down and spotted the red holes underneath Mega Man's feet. And they probably assumed that the boots are rocket powered. Or this could be a shout out to one of Mega Man's inspirations, Astro Boy. Now I went ahead and looked at issue 2, and let's just say that Rush won't be sticking to the sidelines in this comic series. Speaking of game characters, the only ones to appear in this issue are Dr. Light, Mega Man, Roll, who is wearing her Mega Man 8 dress by the way, Rush, Eddie, Otto, and this guy right here. We know it's you, Proto Man. Stop trying to be all mysterious and stuff. Now, we can all guess Otto's role in the comic is that of Dr. Light's assistant, but Eddie, usually he's a walking item carrier that gives Mega Man health items. He probably does the same thing in this comic, but we never find out. Though I still have 2 issues to read, so that could change. I always like these Easter eggs to the Mega Man game series, with the 8-big Mega Man icon here, and the flutter from Mega Man Legends. The art was done by Mick Fong, and sadly I couldn't find any information on the guy, assuming it is a guy. Anyway, he drew the first 3 issues before someone else tackled the 4th and final one. His artwork is heavily manga influenced, which actually works here. But look at these backgrounds. They look amazing, don't you think? Well, it's time for the final score, and I will give this issue a 7. The issue serves as a setup to this version of the Blue Bomber, and it does a decent job. Some of you are wondering, aren't you upset that it's nothing like the games? To which my reply is, who cares? If I want to read Mega Man game adaptions, I'd read the Archie series, or play the game. This comic's apparent goal is to take familiar characters and put them in new situations. Kinda like how Sonic SatAM took the few known game characters and put them in a darker setting. Or even the Ruby Spears Mega Man cartoon. So, someone is targeting services provided by Dr. Light's company. It is indeed a mystery, one that continues into issue 2. So come back around the start of summer for that review, or if you're a future viewer, you can just proceed onward. Until then, have a good day, and be safe.